Hello everybody, welcome to the third episode of Cybersecurity Labs playlist. I am Chirag, your host, and I'm going to walk you through SQL injection. In this ever-evolving landscape of cybersecurity, understanding vulnerabilities and learning to defend against them is crucial. In this comprehensive guide, we'll walk you through the process of setting up damn vulnerable web application DVWA and executing a basic SQL injection attack. By following these steps, you will gain practical experience in identifying and mitigating SQL injection vulnerabilities. So let's get started. If you are on Kali Linux like I am on, it is very easy to install DVWA application on the host. We just need to type in sudo apt install DVWA and it's going to do its thing. As you can see, DVWA is already installed in my system and we can start the server by saying DVWA-start. And it's going to ask for the host password. On giving the password, you can see that it has already launched the DVWA application on my web server. The first and foremost thing that you're required to do in here is go to this tab Setup and Reset Database and then just click on Create or Reset Database. We can see that the database has been created, users table was created, all these things have been done and the setup is successful. Moving on to today's practical SQL injection. On the left hand side, we have the menu where you just have to find SQL injection. So here, this is our web application which is open. In this, they are asking for a user ID. Let's say I type in 1. So on ID 1, it says that the first name is admin, surname admin. If we type in 2, it's Gordon Brown. Now what if we would like to see all the users that are present inside this database? We can use the very basics of SQL injection, that is, or 1 equals 1. So what this is going to do is, it's going to, in the field, it's going to check if the value is this or if 1 is equal to 1. So 1 is always going to be equal to 1. So in that case, it passes the validity check. On clicking submit, we can see that we have successfully breached the database and we can see all the users that are present inside the users database. Now this is the prima facie check for SQL injection in your database. But what if this is protected and we would like to investigate further into a database, searching for all the databases which are present inside it, the tables which are there and the users or the logins that are present. So in that case, we can use a very popular tool known as SQLmap. So for performing the SQL injection attack using SQLmap, we are going to need a few things from this server. So let's just go to 1. This is going to be the URL. I'll just copy this and paste it inside our text editor. Secondly, if we go to inspect, we can see we are inside the developer console and inside the memory or storage, here we are having the cookies. So this is going to be the first cookie, that's PHP session ID. We're just going to copy this and paste it inside our text edit, paste, and this is going to be equal to the value which we are having. We'll just copy this, paste it inside our text edit, and that's done. Second cookie which is present is security. So we'll just copy this, paste it inside our history, and this is equal to low. So these are all the things that are required from the web server in order to launch the SQL injection attack using SQLmap. Now let's craft the SQLmap command for execution. So our first thing is going to be SQLmap. We're going to give the URL to it, and the URL is the one which we have just copied in here. This is the complete URL. We'll just copy it back, paste it inside our quotes. So this is the URL. Then we're going to use the cookie tag and use the cookie which we have just used inside. So this is the one cookie which we have. These are the two cookies actually which we have copied and pasted. So we're just going to use cookie equal to, and within the single quotes we can just give the values to it. That's PHP equals, this is the first cookie value. We'll just copy this out and paste it in here. Done. And then we are going to use a semicolon and use the provide the second cookie to it. So this is security equals low. So we're going to copy this and paste it inside in here. So this is going to be our complete command which we are going to copy back, and inside our console we are just going to type in paste clipboard. So this is the final and we're going to run it. So as we can see that it is trying to test the connection, and it says that the backend DBMS is SQL, MySQL. Now we're going to check the databases that are present inside this. So we're just going to use the same command and use DBS. And we can see inside in here we are having two available databases, one's DVWA and one's the generic information schema. Now let's see if we are going to see the contents of the database DVWA, and along with that we're just going to check if there are any tables present inside the database. So inside the DVWA database we can see there are two tables present, one's the guest book and one's the user. Now users table really looks spooky to me, so we're just going to use the table users and jot down the columns inside it. And so these are the column contents that are present. We can see users, avatar, field login, first name, last name, passwords. So we are having a passwords field inside this table. Now let's dump the passwords column from this database, shall we? So we're just going to use the column password and say dump, and this is going to dump it. Do you want to store this as temporary hash? Okay, we'll just go with the defaults and let's see. So it's trying to dump the database, and we can see that it's already cracking the password for us from the hash. So these are the hashes that are present, and it has also cracked them for us, and these are the passwords. So that seems great. Now as we have received all the passwords, we can see that this first user has the password. So from my case I can say that admin user is having a password of password. So let's try it out inside our web server. We'll just log out from this session. Inside the username we're just going to type admin password. So after logging in, let's see, yes, we are inside the web application and it says that you have logged in as administrator. In this educational journey, we have delved into the realm of cybersecurity by setting up a lab environment, executing a basic SQL injection attack, and exploring the vulnerability testing with SQLmap. Remember, the purpose of this demonstration was solely educational, to help you understand the mechanisms behind SQL injection and the measures that can be taken to fortify your digital defenses. As you venture forward, it's crucial to adopt reasonable practices when it comes to ethical hacking. Always ensure that you have proper authentication techniques to perform security testing, and limit your activities to controlled environments like lab we have just discussed. To mitigate the risks associated with SQL injection and enhance your application security, consider implementing the following steps. Number 1 can be input validation. That's implement the rigorous input validation of both the client and the server sides. Then there can be prepared statements that utilize prepared statements or parameterized queries in your application's code. Web application firewalls can be applied on your application. Always perform the least privilege principle. That's configure your database with the principle of least privilege. Assign minimal privileges to your database accounts used by your applications. Regular updates is a must. Remember, the world of cybersecurity is both dynamic and critical. Our demonstration today aimed to provide insights into vulnerabilities, not to encourage malicious activities. By applying ethical hacking techniques in a responsible manner, you contribute to the ongoing effort of making the digital world more secure for everyone. Continue your journey by staying curious, learning, and fostering a mindset of ethical responsibility. Share your newfound knowledge with others to raise awareness about cybersecurity and encourage safe practices in our interconnected digital landscape. Till then, goodbye.